Hello, welcome to the program Big Talk on Global TV. My name is Topsy Gimbaya House. Today is the 7th day of December. Indeed, how time flies. And the program is one of these programs you watch that provides you with sufficient information around the country, even beyond, where it gives you the privilege to have people who make news to be with us in the studio and help to analyze. There are times they join us via Zoom or WhatsApp call, depending where they find themselves. Today, I want to tell you this edition stands out to be one of which you'll be expecting to watch or listen to, because I'll be joined by a respected ranking member of the House of Representatives who served for 2 terms from Edo State in the person of Friday Itula. Honorable Friday Itula is a Nigerian politician, practitioner, a legal practitioner, a former 2-term Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, elected member House of Representatives as well from 2007 to 2011, so to speak. As far as I used to know him then, he was a member of PDP, or probably is a member of PDP, I should say. When he joins us, he tells us whether or not he has left PDP like any other is trying to do these days, for us to know basically. We are going to be looking at insecurity with the appointment of General Christopher. And then again, we are going to dive into the National Assembly. You know, the 2026, so to speak, 2025 budget has not been laid or sent to the National Assembly by the executive. It is possible that that will not be done, maybe until maybe they resume next year. But what should have done, you know, looking at the budget cycle, is supposed to come around, you know, sometimes in September or in October. And then when the president lays it, then he leaves it there, and the National Assembly takes off from there, and then look into the budget, and then, you know, either to add or reduce. But 2025 budget has not come. But I remember while covering the Senate, where they said that the budget of 2024 and that of 2025, they are running concurrently. So there's just no need for the executive to come again lay the budget. I don't know how it works, but let's just see how it goes. But I believe the year is ending, and I believe budget for 2025 will not be late, probably till some other time in 2026. These are the issues we'll be discussing with Honorable Friday Itula, former member House of Representatives from 2007 to 2011. Without taking much of time, he is calling us from Edo State. Friday Itula, good evening, sir, for being part of the show. This is Big Talk.
How are you doing, Gimba?
Okay, I just hope that as the program starts, that the way it has started, Friday Itula, wherever he might be, but I know he is a citizen of Edo State, and I believe he's from Isham. I believe he's going to join us via WhatsApp call, and then he contributes on this most important discussion we are holding on Global TV this evening. We shall take a break, a commercial break. When we return, we get hooked to him, and he explains further some of these issues I've just raised in my introduction. So don't go away. Okay. Yeah, of course, I've been able to establish contact with my guests, Honorable Friday Itula, like I said from my introduction. He's a Nigerian politician, legal practitioner, and a former two-time Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, and as well elected member of the House of Representatives from 2007 to 2011. He is a member of PDP. I'm only guessing. I don't know whether he's still a member of PDP because I know so many politicians are no longer with the party. Maybe he's one of those that have socially left. And we're looking at the Nigerian insecurity and to the way the federal government is jigging it by making some appointments. The recent one we now is that of the general who served at one time as Chief of Defense Staff, and after 1 month or so, he has been called back to be made Minister of Defense. So it's a pleasure having you on the program this evening, Honorable Friday Itula.
Thank you very much, Gimba. I'm happy being with you once again. But let me correct that impression. I was not a member of the House of Rep 2007 to 2011. I was a member of the House of Representatives 2007 to 2015. Wow,
2015.
Yes.
Three terms, right?
2015, not 2011.
2015. Okay, sir. I'm sorry about that.
2007 to 2015.
15. Okay, the correction is noted. Yes.
Thank you.
Sir, you've been quite one of these vocal persons we have in the country. I remember your contribution immensely when then we were the member house of representative representing your constituency, that's Ishang in Edo State. You made a lot of contribution, you've reformed a lot of bills and all that. I believe you still know much about Nigerian insecurity that we're talking about today. It's been a very topical issue. Wherever you find people discussing, insecurity becomes one of the #1 issues to be discussed. And I felt it was important for me to reach out to you so that we experience to get one of your experiences, on some of these issues surrounding insecurity with the appointment. Can we say the country is beginning to get it right, or we're still dancing within a cycle?
Thank you once again, Gimba. To go straight to your question, I want to say that we are getting it right with the appointment of retired General Christopher, who the president nominated very recently for the position of the Minister for Defense. General Christopher Musa is somebody we knew his onions while he was serving as the Chief of Defense Staff not too long ago before he was removed. We are aware of the program that he laid down. He told the whole country how he was going to fight insecurity, and we saw him addressing the soldiers on the modalities for fighting insecurity. From there, most Nigerians fell in love with him, and we have the view that he stayed longer than he did. But God has his way of doing things. After he's left as a Chief of Defense Staff, now he's coming as a Minister of Defense, which is a higher position than that, because the control here is higher than the position that he was occupying. And having been a general who has fought wars, who has been involved in this whole thing long before his appointment as a minister, we are very confident of what he can do. We see his appointment as a round peg in a round hole. And you can see that time was being screened by the Senate. Every senator that spoke began by commending the president for the appointment of General Christopher.
Hello, Honorable. Honorable.
We are optimistic by the special grace of God that, yes, Uru has come. So it is time for us to put his own quota to enable him to succeed.
Okay.
We have still been listening to him, the interview that he has granted and all that. They are pointed out to the direction that this is somebody who means business for Nigeria. So we are happy and we are waiting to see what transpires with his appointment and subsequent swearing in not too long ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Honorable, I just wanted to find out from you. Incidentally, at the time he was removed as the Chief of Defense Staff, and a new one was appointed to take over that particular position. As soon as these changes or this particular change occurred, many we notice in the country, in spite of these attacks from one place to another, including the kidnap of school children from Kebbi and as well in Niger State, almost simultaneously, and even the killing of a general in Borno, almost at the same time, one can imagine. I don't know whether it was coincidental that it should happen this way. Is it because he was removed, or it was just a coincidence that occurred, at the point of his removal, as CDS? I cannot really imagine how it happened. Or was it like the person himself that has now become the chief of defense staff, the chief of Minister of Defense staff, so to speak, really has what it takes to fight wars?
Well, thank you again for this question. I would want to say that it might be a coincidence that things happen that way. But when we use the word round peg in the round hole, we are saying you have put somebody in a position who knows what he is supposed to do to be able to carry out the responsibility that has been assigned to him. In the case of Musa, one cannot even explain what was responsible for why he was suddenly removed. Like I did say at the very beginning of this interview, it could be that the way God wanted it. Having left that lesser position, he has gotten a higher one where he now has more power. Yes, there was great spike in insecurity after he left. That one belongs to the past now. But you also had during the screening with the Senate, how he expressed his feeling that things like that could happen, particularly the killing of the general who was just isolated and killed. And he did say a lot of things that happened. Security issues are not something you discuss in the open. I have a strong feeling that he is going to find out what actually happened. Not only that of General Uba, but also those insecurity, the kidnapping and all of that one that took place, that little period that he was away. He will need to go into find out what transpired with a view to ensuring that there is no reoccurrence. Like I did say, the appointment of General Musa Christopher as the Minister for Defense is something that has excited all Nigerians alike. And today it is a topical issue. We are hoping and pleading that everybody gives in cooperation, because security is the business for everybody, not just one person. It's only at that level where he can coordinate and ensure that proper action is taken.
Yeah.
But what I want to add to that is that, the third law of Newton says action and reaction are equal and opposite. The fact that everybody is excited and we are very hopeful of what he can do is another reason for him to also watch, because sabotage exists everywhere. There are a lot of things that can discourage somebody from carrying out the responsibility that has been given to him or her. Insinuations are already being made as to, this man is going to be this, is going to be that. And very soon, we never can tell what will happen. So I will advise him not to listen to all these things, should keep his ears locked as far as the situations are concerned, so that he can concentrate on the assignment that he has been given. Nigerians look up to him. The security and well-being of the citizenry is the primary purpose of government. With the president appointing him, because the president has the constitutional right to delegate some of those responsibilities that he has either to the vice president or to his ministers. This one has been dedicated to him. Apart from the president, I'm also sure other well-meaning Nigerians are looking up to him to bring the magic wands, to bring security to our country, so that we have some sort of relief.
Yeah, Honorable, I just wanted to find out from you, why insecurity is so, it's just met in the open in this country. This was something that we never knew about it for quite some time. It started with a very few number of people in Borno State, and we thought it was a joke. In fact, I never knew that in Nigeria, there will be a suicide bomber, a Nigerian that will willingly agree to commit suicide by throwing bomb to some other person, and he dies along or she dies along with it. I never knew. It used to be a story far from Middle East. We used to hear about that. And I knew at the point I was talking to some of my friends that we are struggling just to eat gari. I wouldn't have expected that somebody in Nigeria will feel so aggrieved with anybody or a particular system of government, and then will not decide to commit suicide by killing himself alongside whatever he intended to do. But lo and behold, we began to see that really happening, and today it's still really happening, and gradually it has spread to almost all the northern states, and is equally encroaching into the southern part of Nigeria. And one doesn't really know, why are we like that these days?
Well, Gimba, I must say insecurity is an e-wind that blows nobody any good. Yes, like you did say at the very beginning, we didn't know it would get to this level that it is now. It started somewhere in Borno, the northeast, and then some other two states. I recall that the president then did declare state of emergency in those areas. But you recall that he was even being accused of involving himself in destroying some persons from some sections of the country. And so somehow he couldn't continue with that manner he has been having in mind to fight and ensure that this thing lived at the board. And so it started spreading. It is no longer in the northeast now as we speak. It's almost everywhere. It is there in northwest. It is there in north central. It is even there in my state, those states and the south geopolitical region. My own place, where I come from, in Eastern land, insecurity has become something else. The governor is doing his best to curtail this, and of course, to a very large extent, he has succeeded. But I must say that for us to be able to nip this thing at the board, to be able to pull this thing down from the level that it is now, we need somebody who is there at the center, who knows what he is supposed to do, who knows the onion. And somebody like Musa, who has tested war, who has fought insurgency, who knows what to do, that Nigerians are aware of. We are hoping that with his appointment as the Minister for Defense, the one who is directly in charge, that this will go down, if not completely eradicated. This is what we are looking up to. We can't really say exactly what is happening, but when we hear that he's even advising that all hands should be on deck, that insecurity is everybody's business, he knows what he's talking about. There are those people who are there who may have been benefiting directly or indirectly from this. Once such persons are identified and fished out, I'm sure success will be staring at us on the face. So we need to advise ourselves, those who are encouraging it, those who feel they are benefiting from the killing of their fellow human being, those who have one reason, one ulterior purpose for ensuring that Nigeria don't have security, we need to think inward. Nigerians need to advise them so that we can have a country that has security, and this distraction will be away from us so that we can address other issues of development for our country.
Yeah, Honorable. In your own opinion now, I'm just seeking your opinion as a Nigerian who has been there for a while and been in the national scene for a very long while. Do you think there are some people who are like sponsoring these boys that will find them today hiding in bushes, carrying out attacks and kidnappings at their own will? Because if you assess when you look at some of them, you know, on videos or pictures, you hardly can see anything so important on their faces. But here are they carrying AK-47 and other sophisticated guns, far more sophisticated than the ones the legitimate security personnel use in attacking them. In your opinion, do you feel, you know, that there are some people who are well placed in this country aiding and abetting this prolonged crisis of insecurity the country is facing right now?
Well, like I did say a while ago, there are people who are behind this insecurity. For their own reason, maybe one way or the other, they are benefiting from it. Otherwise, like you observe, the weapons that they are carrying are no little weapons. They are sophisticated weapons. How are they able to purchase this thing without having sponsors behind them? You know, people just set out to say, this is the way we can also benefit. Let's involve ourselves in something like this. And maybe at the end of the day, they are benefiting from it. You also can never rule out the involvement of this insecurity with affiliation from other bodies that are involved in this whole thing. So all these ones are possible. But like we have said, we cannot only rely on the kinetic method of resolving this issue. We should also look at non-kinetic measures to resolve this issue. There was something I read some times ago about how this Al-Qaeda person who was in Guatemala in South America, they were able to break him through. In spite of all that they did, they tortured him, they did everything to break him, to make him to confess. He never said anything until a member of the CIA offered him just coffee. Something happened that he offered him coffee in the course of their conversation. That alone was able to bring the gist. And he opened up. That was part of what led to the arrest of Osama bin Laden then. So it's not only kinetic method that can be used. We can also find out these people who are responsible, have engagement with them. Why is this thing going on? What can be done to ensure that all these things that are happening are reduced to the barest minimum level, if not completely eradicated? There are people who can talk to them, who are close to them, that can address them, that we may not know. And they appeal to all Nigerians, including these persons, is for all hands to be on deck to ensure that this issue of insecurity is removed once and for all from our country so that we can make progress. Nobody is happy. Because of insecurity, you are not free to do whatever you want to do again. People are not able to go to farm. People are not able to go about their trade. To even travel has become an issue. So, you know, the apprehension is there everywhere. So my people say it's only safe to fly in the air now. Even if you fly in the air, will you also fly to your home? Suppose your home is very far away from the village. Do you have to fly there? So the issue must be addressed all around so that we can have some spite.
Okay, Honorable, as we speak, a delegation from United States of America, congressmen are in Nigeria as we speak. They are in Nigeria and they must have really come and met with the National Security Advisor. You remember that Donald Trump previously had threatened to use any other means, including, blocking those who have access to their accounts, sort of blocking them to have access to their accounts, and then maybe threatening, Nigeria, with invasion, sort of. But of course, we have seen so many people talking with different tunes. There's this cacophony of noise around the country. Those who are saying yes, those who are saying no. And today, as we speak, right now, as we speak, the congressman being led by the ambassador to Nigeria from America has left these congressmen or a delegation to see the National Security Advisor. In your own opinion, will you want what Donald Trump had said previously to be implemented in this country, looking at the way killings have been going on from very long time, almost a decade and more, to where we are today, and it keeps increasing, or they keep increasing? Will you want an external assistance, like the way Donald Trump has said If nothing is being done, possibly America will come in.
Well, what I understand Donald Trump has said is that Nigeria should address the issue of insecurity, particularly as it relates to the killing of particular members of a particular religion, the Christians anyway. And he did say if that is not done, then he can also take other measures to address the issue. Yes, a lot of people are saying they are for him, particularly in the social media, that Donald Trump should send Americans to come and help us. And some are also there who are saying, no, that is not the way forward. That's not the way out. I believe that the way they are going about it, which is diplomatic, is the best approach. They are coming to meet with, the congressmen are coming to meet with the Nigerian security advisor with a view to hearing firsthand from them as to what is on ground. And the NSA office will be able to advise on what approach should be given to the issue. It is not out of place to seek external help if you see that the problem on hand is going beyond your limit. And so it is not just as some people are thinking that America will just come into the country, bring in their soldiers and start fighting for the country, which entails a lot of things. It's a systematic way. After this visit, a lot of things will lead to an understanding as to where their help could come in if it is needed at this moment. And I can tell you, America is the first democratic world that we know of. They will not just go into, behaving as if they are now dictators into a sovereign country and do whatever they like without an understanding between them. The Nigerian government, as represented by the Nigerian National Security Advisor, will engage with the congressmen, give them key facts as to what is on ground, and ensure that proper things are done. I do not think we should be apprehensive that they will come and, just go into the country like they did in some other places like, Iraq and all of that. And today is a problem to those countries, Libya and the rest. No. They will not even want to destabilize Nigeria as a country. They can only come in to assist us to eradicate this insecurity once and for all. So I'm sure government knows what best to do in addressing them when they do meet.
Honorable Friday Itula, have you noticed any remarkable change since from the time he began to talk to where we are today in the country, looking at the way government is becoming proactive rather than being reactive on issues related to insecurity as soon as Donald Trump posed that particular threat? Have you noticed any remarkable change, or things are still like the way they used to be for quite some time now?
I must tell you, beating my hand on the chest, that there have been a lot of differences since that statement was made. And a very clear example was the nomination of General Christopher Musa, retired, to be the Minister for Defense. These are actions that will help us to address the issue of insecurity. I want to say that Donald Trump statement is a kind of wake-up call to Nigeria, and everybody is alert. You have heard that the Minister of Defense is saying he no longer want to have soldiers in roadblocks and all of that, and everybody should be, at the battlefront where the insecurity are. All these are measures being taken, which I can say are results of what Donald Trump has said he will assist us to do. So clearly speaking, there has been very positive moves since that statement was made by him. But I wanted to quickly chip this in, Gimba, that I will not advise wholesale removal of military people in the roadblocks. They are also helping there because this insecurity is not just localized in one area. If you move from Abuja on your way to the South geopolitical zone, you have a lot of places where security has been. And the presence of soldiers there is also a deterrent. So if insecurity were localized in just one place, we can say, okay, go ahead, remove the soldiers. Although we are aware that the duty of soldiers is to prevent external aggression of the country. But the situation where we have found ourselves, they are needed everywhere. So if he is to remove the soldiers, to withdraw the soldiers, it should not be complete, not be a wholesale withdrawal of them. It should still allow some segment to be helping in managing the roadblocks around the country as they are doing currently. May not be this number that we have currently. With the police coming in, working together, we are still addressing the issue of insecurity. So I just felt I should chip that to an end with this opportunity I have on my hands.
All right, sir. Yeah, Honorable, will you want the government, the present government, to name those perceived to be sponsors of President Nigeria's predicament? Because I remember immediate past administration led by Buhari, the Dubai government, or Qatar, so to speak, sent a list of people who they thought were, sponsors of what, is happening in this country. And when these names were sent, most Nigerians were really expecting to hear that names are mentioned, published in the newspapers. You watch the names on the television or you listen to that on the radio. But it never happened until that administration came and went or gone. Nothing really happened. Today in the social media, though I'm not holding those issues made to be valid in themselves, but names are still being mentioned. You hear this person being mentioned, you hear that other person mentioned, which of course they are not. You don't find that on the traditional media outfits, but you see that trending, and keep trending on the social media platforms. Are we beginning to get closer to the truth, or just mere rhetoric or whatever somebody sees there and sends information probably inaccurate for us to believe in?
Well, again, Gimbia, I believe that addressing the issue of insecurity will not be complete without even finding those who are sponsors of this whole thing. You see, a lot of those people who are involved are innocent. They are merely radicalized and asked to carry out such a heinous crime. Many of them may not even be aware of what they are doing or why they are doing it. So, getting the sponsors, identifying them, is major to addressing this issue of insecurity. If government is able to address the issue by identifying those sponsors behind the insecurity we are having, we have solved, I dare say, about 60% of the whole issue. Because once the sponsors are not there, they are not there to either pay them or provide the weaponry for them to do what they are doing, then they cannot go ahead. It will be very difficult for them. So I think that aspect of it should be addressed. Like you did say, when Saudi Arabia offered to help, they gave names that time. Nothing really much came out of it. But we are in a different administration. They do their best to identify those who are sponsoring these people, have them prosecuted, address them, find out why they are even sponsoring such heinous crime in the first place. And those that need to be prosecuted should be prosecuted without further delay. It will help in that direction. That's why we have our intelligence agencies. They are there. So all the names that have been flying, I don't know whether they are official or they are just social media making or what have you. Even those names that are published there is none I will say I'm familiar with. I only just had them addressing them. This one was this one was this. Whether they are imaginary names or not, I sincerely do not know them because they are not names that ring bells to me. As somebody who has been at the national level, that I'll be able to say, yes, I think I'm aware of such a name, I'm aware of such a name. But if they are true, they are not figments of imagination, then the government should seek out for such persons and more with a view to addressing this issue of insecurity.
Okay, yeah. You're doing so well, Honorable. Let me find out from you, Honorable. You know, the northern governors and the emirs sometimes met in Kaduna. In one of their meetings, they agreed that they are likely to ban mining. Wherever mining is taking place in the northern part of Nigeria, they are looking at that possibility of really stopping that to happen. They believe because of mining, you know, people take advantage of this mining, using the proceeds of whatever they're digging the earth to get whatever they want to get and sell and make money, and then arm these boys. And it is possibly true to some extent. You read on the papers and even watch that in some places like Zamfara, for instance, you know, foreigners are in the bush, which of course they needed to be attacked by these bandits or these people. But they avoid doing that to them, and they come to villages, burn these villages down, take people away, and then kill some, as a matter of fact. It will appear as if, you know, some other persons away from this country are really helping that, disguising themselves as miners, and then empowering these people. The same thing in Plateau. But again, when General Musa appeared before the Senate for the confirmation or for the screening for him to be confirmed, he equally mentioned that he is of the opinion that they should stop mining in Nigeria. When mining is stopped, it's likely we identify who sponsors what, or who is doing that, or who is arming those boys doing what they are doing, creating some kind of mayhem against citizens of this country.
Well, I want to say I support whatever measure that can be taken to address the issue of insecurity, that will bring security to the country. Mining is another very turbulent area that people are saying is partially it's also responsible for the insecurity that we are facing. That once they involve in this, they drive people away to ensure that nobody goes there. Mining is, I do know, supposed to be under the exclusive legislative list. In other words, it's only the federal government that can address it, just like petroleum. But I don't know what's happening. Like it has become everybody's business. You find people who are just having their own area and say this area belongs to me. No, that person should come there. And I doubt even such persons even go to the federal government to obtain their license, the ministry that is responsible for mining. Like, the survival of the fittest, and what they get there gives them a lot of money. So there is bound to be insecurity, survival of the fittest in such area. If stopping them, we address the issue, I am for it. I am for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Like General Musa did say, he's somebody who has tremendous knowledge on this issue of insecurity. Whatever that he says, whatever measure he thinks should be in place for us to address the issues, I am for it, and I'm sure more than 80% of Nigerians will support him to succeed, if that is what will bring security to our nation.
Okay. Yeah, Honorable, when he appeared before the Senate chamber on that fateful day, very many retired generals, escorted him to the National Assembly to witness the screening and then the confirmation. If you look at the number of young generals, so much money spent to train an officer to a rank of a general or brigadier general or major general, some of them and then in a very short while, an appointment is made. Either they take the junior to become the leader. Those who are a little bit higher than him in rank will completely leave service at the end of the day. I don't know with this practice whether it is normal in where all these countries, because there's no country that does not have soldiers. Is that the way it is done? The moment one is appointed, the other ones who are a little bit higher, they leave. And then you imagine the money used in training these officers who are just at their prime, some of them, and who have tremendous knowledge on how to fight wars, are asked to leave the service. They asked him this question really, and he said he's going to look into it whether they call them the reserve lists in the army, whether they can be used, to tackle this situation the country is going through now. Because actually it's very painful. Very many of them retired that I got so surprised at the end of the day looking at these young officers, but then they're out of service.
Well, this is the normal practice in all security agencies, whether it is in the army, it's in the police, the Navy, Air Force. Once your junior is appointed to a level that you, that is senior to him, have to come under him, usually they retire such persons. Because more often than not, in the military, they see their juniors as those that they cannot subordinate themselves to. And so usually, even to ask them, many of them will prefer to, to retire as to stay back. But that is not to say that they are happy. If there is something that can be done, maybe when you retire such persons, you put them in reserve, as you have said, where we can still call upon them to come and assist in one way or the other, it will be very helpful. But if seniority is taken into account in giving appointment to people, those who are serving will not have this kind of situation that we have on ground now. But like I have said, these persons can still be resorted to. If some of them, for example, escorted Christopher Musa to the screening in the Senate, it means they are close, he knows them. And of course, he could still know where to put them to use in addressing the assignment that has been given to him. Same thing for others as well. If you find that somebody who is senior to you will now serve under you, and you choose to advise such a person, or such person is advised to retire, then they can still be put to use one way or the other. Even that day when General Musa was, this issue was raised to him by my very good friend who is representing Nasarawa South. I recall.
Ahmed Aliyu Wadada. Ahmed Aliyu Wadada. I said Ahmed Aliyu Wadada.
No, that was.
Okay, on now, Mohammed now. Yeah.
Mohammed.
Ogoshi.
Ogoshi, God bless you.
Yes.
He was the first one to raise the issue. So he said they can be employed in some other place.
Yeah, Honorable. Are you there? Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. We can hear you. Yeah, Honorable.
Okay. And he was very happy. He was very happy. Did he have this feeling at all that anything was gone wrong? So, if we can have reserve list, such as is happening in some places, if they need to re-engage them, they come. That would be very helpful.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me just, in a way, rounding off the program by asking you. You've been quite very active politically. As I used to know you when you were a member House of Representatives in 2007. When I met you, I used to interview you on radio almost all the time. I want to find out, which means you are very much into politics. You like democracy to a very large extent. If you look at the way things are going in this country, will you say Nigeria as a country is ripe for democracy? I mean, look at other countries today that, military are gradually, taking over, chasing politicians out from office to take over. The last is that one in Benin Republic, but thank God it failed. It's so unfortunate that things are really happening like that. You as a politician, you started as a councillor, becoming a chairman, becoming a member state assembly, and then becoming member House of Representatives. You can imagine you have gone through all the run like Jonathan did.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you react to that?
Democracy is the best form of government anywhere. It is better than dictatorship. As the saying goes, the best form of dictatorship, the worst form of democracy is better than the best form of dictatorship. I am for democracy because it is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is way better than where you force yourself on the people for the purpose of being in government. The military are not trained to be in government, and ideally they should not be there. Democracy is for politicians, it's for the people. Those who are choosing politics as a vocation should be allowed to do what they have opted to do. They say leave politics for politicians. In other places where you see interregnum, where you see the military coming in, some countries are never better off than where democracy is allowed to survive. The current democracy that we have, we started the Fourth Republic, we started 1999, and it's enduring till now. We must say to a very large extent that the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, we owe a lot of the sustainers to him. Because as soon as he came in, every person who has been given a political appointment in the military, he removed all of them from the military. And by special grace of God, nobody wants a repeat of that again. So if you forcefully take over governance, you know consequences that await you because they cannot remain there forever. So to answer your question directly, democracy is the best form of government, and for it any day, any time. Even if we have issues here and there, they will eventually resolve itself. And I must say that as we progress, things cannot remain the same. We might be having some issues now, oh, this one is happening, or this one is happening. But nevertheless, as we make progress, we see that this is the best form of government that can never happen. Look at what is happening in America. You don't get to hear of people taking over. In developed climes, you don't hear of people coming in and saying they have taken over the government. Nigerians are not desiring that at all. As we speak now.
Okay.
Come and see the number of employees that are there. I don't want to single that one out alone. If you remove the legislative arm, all those people who are currently employed in that place, would they have been there? The answer is no.
Yeah.
So for me, I think this should be a different topic entirely. But for democracy, it is the best form of government.
All right, sir. Because of time factor, we are gradually coming to the end of the show. But let me just ask you this question. I know you to be a member of PDP, that's People's Democratic Party. You've been an adherent member for quite some time. With these waves of changes we're seeing from one political party to another, I wouldn't know whether I should still be addressing you as a member of a political party or you have joined the bandwagon.
Well, I must say that as I speak with you, I'm a member of the All Progressive Congress. I'm a founding member. I was a founding member of the People's Democratic Party since 1998 until very recently.
Okay.
I contested the election on the platform of PDP in 2003 to the Senate. There was a gang up. I contested again for the by-election very recently, and the same thing. A lot of things. I think where we are, this is a national television. It's not the best place to discuss such issues. But to answer your question directly, I have chosen and I have decided to join the All Progressive Congress, the APC. The governor of Edo State is from my senatorial district.
Wow.
We all need to join hands with him to be able to have him to succeed.
Okay.
And the APCs at the federal level, we really have no reason not to support that party to succeed as we speak.
Yeah, sure.
And of course, you look at the PDP today, I don't know how best to describe it. You see a lot of infighting within the party, and I do not see what headway somebody who wants to aspire high can make in such a platform.
Okay. Honorable, I really appreciate you because I only once made a mistake by really describing you as a member of PDP until when you mentioned it that you have left. It's only that we didn't know when you do that. But I wish you good luck as you have left PDP to join APC. Always ensure that the governor of Edo State, through you, should bring adverts to us. That's Global Television. We are watched globally. We are on DSTV channel 365. We are equally on Star Times 276 and all the social media platforms. You get Global TV. You hear people from Russia, Indonesia, America, Britain, all calling us on this program, which I believe we are global to that the name is. I really appreciate you to be part of this wonderful discussion. In fact, it's one of the discussions I say I really enjoyed because of your eloquent knowledge on some of these issues surrounding this country. As a matter of fact, I must tell you this.
Thank you, Gimba. I can assure you, as many of my friends that are interested in knowing what is current in the country and beyond, will be introduced to this your station. And with the people of such caliber as yourself, anchoring different programs here, you will sell yourself. As the saying goes, the Yoruba will say, which is to say the soup that is sweet, money killer. And in this case, bringing your program up for people to show great interest.
Yeah.
We depend largely on those who are anchoring such program.
Yes,
innovate, bringing new ideas into your program, things that will attract the people, such as you are doing now, and I can assure you, before you know it, you become the talk of the day.
Thank you, Honorable. I'm honored.
Thank you. Thank you, Gimbert.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it too. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Well, I had with me on WhatsApp call with a respected Nigerian, a national leader for that matter, Honorable Friday Itula, a Nigerian politician, legal practitioner, former two-time Speaker of the Edo State House Assembly, a chairman of local government, a councillor, and equally a member representing that's Asian in 2007 to 2015. You can imagine that. So he's a politician, and he actually spoke so well to the way most of us should really understand the dimension of how this country is going. We shall be doing that again tomorrow with yet another personality. My name is Topsy Jimba. News will come your way at exactly 8. Stay tuned. Don't go away. See you and bye-bye.